Almighty God, who in your infinite wisdom and providential goodness have appointed the officers of leaders and parliament, descend upon them here assembled, and grant that they may, as in your presence, treat and consider all matters that shall come under their deliberation in such just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the good of those whose interests you've committed to their charge. Amen.
Item number 2 in the order paper, communication from the chair.
Thank you, colleagues. I welcome you to today's sitting. I hope our Muslim brothers and sisters, the fasting period is treating you well. They've just started. I hope Honorable Singom and the team will, who are also starting tomorrow, will observe the fasting period the way our Muslim brothers and sisters are doing it. Honorable colleagues, tomorrow the Parliament Anglican Chaplaincy will be having Ash Wednesday service officiated by His Grace, the Archbishop of Uganda, the Most Reverend Dr. Samuel Kazimba Mugaru, to mark the beginning of the Lent period in the Christian calendar. That is tomorrow, 5th March 2025, starting at 12:30 p.m. in the conference hall. You're all invited, and it's not only Anglicans, also Catholics, also Muslims. It's blessings when we have His Grace here. It's always a blessing. We should all go there to welcome Him as we continue to come for plenary. Then in the evening, the Parliamentary Catholic Chaplaincy will have also Ash Wednesday Mass tomorrow, 5th March at 5 p.m. in Conference Hall, led by the Bishop of Rugazi Diocese, His Lordship Christopher Kakoza. You're also invited. Honorable colleagues, on a sad note, I regret to inform you of the passing of the father of Honorable Agnes Tucker, the woman MP Bujiri. The late Wandera passed on Thursday, 27 February 2025. He will be laid to rest in Namayemba Town Council, Bujiri District, on Thursday, 6 March. I request that we observe a moment of silence in his honor.
May his soul rest in eternal peace.
Honorable colleagues, I received your congratulatory messages on my election as the president of OACPS Parliamentary Assembly. I only promise that I'll make you proud. I want in a special way to thank the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament who nominated me. Without her nomination, I wouldn't have made it. And also His Excellency the President who gave me the clearance and support which was necessary, because we ran a campaign. Sometimes I use the principle of my son, before it's completed, don't announce it. Okay, that's how we run each and every the end. So you better I will start.
making Uganda proud. Right Honorable Speaker, I have a small clarification. Uganda was cleared from the grey list in February last year by FATF, but the EU has a different arrangement called the Mrach list. Our expectation was that having been cleared by FATF grey list, we would automatically be cleared from the EU grey list. But this has not happened, although we are optimistic. So I want to thank you for picking it up. What I wanted to clarify is that it is not the grey list, because the grey list we are not there. It is the EU Mrach list. In the EU jurisdiction, grey list is for tax purposes, but for money laundering, they call it Mrach list. So, and this is what we are fighting to get out from. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister, for that clarification. Yes. Honourable Babiku.
Thank you so much, Right Honourable Speaker. I join the rest in congratulating you.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. I jointly and severally, as members of this House, congratulate you for having achieved on a global stage. But Right Honourable Speaker, and the people who sit on government side, you are one of our greatest exports to the world, but you did not come from an abstract. We nurtured you in the Forum for Democratic Change. If we did not nurture you, and we condone the treatment that is being given to the members who sit on this side of the House, as we're seeing in Kawempe, we shall not have the legs of you to export outside. May it please the people who sit on the government side, in reaction to your speech, that they should give a great environment that could usher in persons of your stature from this side, so that we can have people to export to the world out. Thank you very much.
My colleague will always find a way. Thank you. Thank you for your kind words, Honorable. Yes. Honorable Song, wait a bit. Just let me allow Chair, Committee on Climate Change. Because these are...
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. First of all, I want to also take this opportunity to congratulate you for assuming the presidency of the of the ACP. This is a very important achievement for us in Uganda and also Africa. This will come with opportunities and challenges. I will want to focus much on the challenges that you can use in this position so that we can have a benefit for as a continent, but also as a ACP countries. Number one is the issue of natural resources exploitation. There are companies that are coming from some of the EU countries and they are operating in Africa. As a result of that, they are causing conflicts in some of the ethnic communities, whether in Democratic Republic of Congo, in Cameroon, especially in Bamenda region, in Somalia, Central African Republic, Chad, and so on. So this issue must be addressed at the ACP-EU or under the Samoa Agreement, because it is bringing human rights issues where women and children are getting displaced and even killed. That issue must be addressed. Another issue is on the trade. Terms of trade must be favorable for us to trade with the EU and ACP countries. Let me go to the issue of carbon trade. In the EU, they are selling a ton of carbon at 100 euro. But here in Africa, they are buying a ton at $12. This is the same product. So we need that kind of negotiation. Worse still, in Africa or Uganda, the average landholder holding is about 2 acres. Now, if I decide to plant 1 acre and put it under trees to absorb carbon dioxide, you should pay me good money so that I can use that money to go for off-farm income generating activity. Otherwise, if the trees are ready for timber, I will cut them and then they will stop absorbing the carbon dioxide. So we need to negotiate favorably so that our smallholder farmers can be able to benefit. On the deforestation law, yes, they are saying if you have cut trees to plant coffee here, you will not be able to sell that coffee in the EU. That is a global call. But also behind that is most of the EU countries also benefited. They are the ones who caused climate change globally here. So why don't they pay for that compensation for the countries like Africa, where the average greenhouse gas emission is only 4%, and Uganda is only producing greenhouse gases to about 0.06%. So the one way of doing that is to cancel our debts so that we can start at par. I think those are some of the issues you need to push. Finally, the Council of Ministers. In the EU, the Council of Ministers are very powerful and they make decisions. Some time back, they made a decision to remove the president who was democratically elected in Egypt. President Morsi was removed and yet he was democratically elected. Now, this Council of Ministers, they should be able to, under this Samoa Agreement, they should be able to weigh their decisions on Africa, on women and children, and also on human rights in general in Africa. So we congratulate you. We know that those challenges can be addressed under your presidency. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now, colleagues, today we have an order paper, which I want us to go back to. I'm usually uncomfortable sitting here, presiding over you, appreciating me. Well, you know, when I'm conflicted. I know we appreciate each other, and this is our achievement as a house. If we had been a house that is not valued, you know, you can't come out one and you say, I shine alone and the rest are not shining. No, it's because of the collective decision that we make here, and how we represent our people. So I really want to appreciate you. But I should just comment a little. Honorable, these are issues that we are going to be looking at strongly because some countries we've not moved very, very quickly. For example, the issue of the Economic Partnership Agreement, I hope Uganda can finalize it with the EU so that we unlock the potential that we are having with the EU. To me, the EU is a number one trading partner. To me, we say UAE, but the gold, how much tax are we getting from gold, for example? How many Ugandans are benefiting from gold? So EU, where around 70% of our coffee is going, you know, that's a very, very critical market that is helping people down on the ground. And we've registered a trade surplus. I think now, I think we're already in around 150 million euro trade surplus. And we are doing extremely very well. The tourism, they are really, really big on tourism. But at continental level, we have to look at issues of intra-Africa trade, intra-Africa travel. We have to look at how we can work on the AFCTA to ensure that indeed we start moving in the right direction. But we also stop the divide and rule, which we usually face on the continent, especially with some countries signing agreements on critical minerals. Countries like Angola, countries, I think even Rwanda has signed. There are countries like Malawi. We negotiate at a regional level, at a continental level. The moment we have that strength of numbers, you know, and the strength of ideas, and I mean, we can't fail to benefit that much. So I'm looking at us, one, benefiting from the economic partnership agreements that we are going to be having. We had hoped to have it at regional level of East African community, but we failed. Kenya signed theirs and moved ahead. SADC, they signed. They're having one under SADC. Then we have the Sustainable Investment Facilitation Agreement. I hope they can open it up to our regions here. So we are going to do a lot together. And through parliamentary diplomacy. Now this is very critical because someone can say, but now this is the work of foreign affairs. No, there is parliamentary diplomacy. Whatever foreign affairs does, a very good example, Honourable Minister on the blacklist, Honourable Minister for Finance, the European Commission agreed that Uganda should be removed because there are 6 countries, UAE, Gibraltar, Uganda, Jamaica, Panama, and Barbados. 4 have fulfilled the requirements, apart from UAE and Gibraltar. But when you go into politics, the geopolitics of Europe, if Gibraltar doesn't sort its issues with Spain, then they can never get off that list. So if we remain under that resolution, we will never be cleared as a country. And investors from Europe are finding challenges when you talk to some of them. So what we've done, because the EU Commission submitted Parliament refused, said no, we want a resolution of all the 6. Now who can best get to members of Parliament in Europe? It's us. Honorable Cooper will give you a list of 50 of them right away because they are our colleagues. So now as a Parliament and as an institution, we are going to petition our colleagues in the European Parliament to clear Uganda. So that's how parliamentary diplomacy works. It complements state diplomacy. We don't compete with the state, we only complement. And the direction we go with is the direction of the sitting government. Then we complement and see how best we can support. I'm sorry, I want us to go back on the agenda. Honorable Leader of Opposition, acting. I have the acting Leader of Opposition, if we could. Under what rule? Rule 8? Okay. Procedure under Rule 8. And honorable colleagues, now on procedure, when I say under what rule, you refer to a rule, kind of expect your submission to be in line with that rule.
Right, Honorable.
When we gazette, When we gazette the rules.
Right Honorable Speaker,
Yes, Honorable Numbers.
Rule 8 provides for situations that are not provided for.
Not questions, Honorable.
Right Honorable Speaker, the procedural matter I want to raise is that 2 of your MPs, Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Numbers, just let me first make it clear. Rule 8 provides for procedure not provided for, not questions. Kindly.
Right Honorable Speaker, the matter I'm going to raise, I've been trying to look for it under our rules, and it was not provided for, and I thought that under Rule 8, Right Honorable Speaker, you have general powers on issues that are not specifically provided for under our rules of procedure. Right Honorable Speaker, 2 of your MPs, that is Honorable Mwadanku Nyingi of Chadondo East, and Honorable Derek Nyeko of Machindye, are being held Right Honorable Speaker, since yesterday. Right Honorable Speaker, yesterday I was part of a public meeting in the by-election campaigns of Kawempe North, Right Honorable Speaker, as a member of NUP. In that meeting, Mr. Speaker, I was with Honorable Abdallah Chwanka, who was dressed in a red attire, Right Honorable Speaker. Soon after the meeting, Right Honorable Speaker, Right Honorable Abdallah Chwanka was arrested, and eventually he was released on bond. And when I read the police form, the bond form, the offense that was provided for on that bond form was that he had been charged of an offense related to a uniform. And the Right Honorable Speaker, even the 2 MPs now who are being held by police were also arrested in similar circumstances, Right Honorable Speaker. The procedural matter I want to raise, Right Honorable Speaker, because you are charged with the welfare of your MPs, and of course, what happens to our MPs, even in some circumstances, also happen to our constituents, Right Honorable Speaker. And I don't know, as a whole procedure, if the government has informed this House, all authority, all under any written law, that a red attire is now a uniform of a certain organization or a body of government that is supposed to be held in a preserve for them, and once you are arrested, dressed in it, you are aligned before court, or you are held for several hours in detention. Some people have been beaten. Right Honorable Speaker, I raise this because these are people who should be here representing their constituents, but now they are being held by police just because they were found putting on a red attire. To my understanding, and the best of my understanding, the uniform of the National Unity Platform Party. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, and I want you to guide us, Mr. Speaker, that maybe you would call here the minister in charge of defense to educate the country through this House on what constitutes a uniform of UPDF, so that we can also tell our people and also update ourselves as members of Parliament, so that we don't break the law.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You raised the matter to do with our members, so I decided to be lenient. Yeah, and indeed I found can be in line with the rules. Rule 78(1)(a) on no privilege, on point of privilege. So it would, but now I hadn't gotten that information. I'm sorry, I've been off phone for some time. I don't know on the side of government. Does anyone know the status of the matter as of now? Yeah. Please, Rob. If one from the government side can question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also want to congratulate you on the achievement you got. And when I meet you along the roads, don't fear me calling you President, sir, with that achievement. And our Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank Honorable Tek and the Honorable Namboze. We